Welcome back, everybody, to Blue and Blur. My name is Mark.
I'm RJ. We're here to talk about the trials and tribulations of the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, in the past week, I think it's been more trials and tribulations on
Well, finally for
the
the Leafs,
Habs.
it's finally for the Leafs. It might be trials and celebrations.
Yeah, exactly. So
Finally,
they've played really good this week. Montreal's played kind of a half and half. Why don't we start with Tuesday night? Montreal against the Senators. From what I saw, that game was a good first period. There was some good action in the first period. And but Montreal's been struggling a lot second period this season, and it was no different this one here. It was just bang bang, goal after goal in second period, and then the Montreal was just never able to come back. There was one goal at the end. It was like a little wishful thinking comeback goal by Suzuki, but I mean it didn't go anywhere after that. We just ended up we were just outclassed by Ottawa, and it's funny because they're a little bit lower than us in the stats, or they were anyway. I think they still are. Yeah, they're still below us in the stats. So technically, I mean, it should have been a not an easy win, but we should have been able to perform a little bit better than 5-2. What about you guys?
well, the Leafs were playing their fifth road game in a row as they went down south to play Florida. A pretty banged up team. So I'm not going to say that was a complete test for the team, but they responded in kind to take a team out that was tied for them down in the standings at the bottom and beat them 4-1. Rather uh, outshot their opponent, which has been rare this year. Um, and the one thing that I really noticed in that game was the play of Tim Stitcher, the diminutive 5'10", 185-pound defenseman. Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, we pick him up from Edmonton. I made a point about this in the last video. Like eighth defenseman on the Edmonton roster. Got the most goals against, the worst defense in the league. And the Leafs go and grab him on the waivers, and he's immediately paired with Jake McCabe, and they're putting up great 5-on-5 stats. Stetcher played 24 minutes in this game,
Wow. Yeah.
and that tells you what Berube thinks of him. And it's a case of you never know where these guys are going to come from. Florida picked up a guy 3 years ago from Carolina, Forsling off the waivers, and now Forsling's considered as one of the best defensemen in the league. So I'm not saying Stetcher's going to end up being like a Forsling guy, but boy, oh boy, this 31-year-old, he's on his seventh NHL team, is making the most of what maybe was his last kick at the can to stay in the NHL. And good timing for the Leafs since Tanev's out. Stetcher stepped in and took the spot,
Hmm.
which is kind of a coincidence. He was partnered with him in Vancouver, and he was his best man at his wedding at one point. Or Tanev was his best man at his wedding, I think. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure which way that went, but Tanev, they were in a wedding party together.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that. The Leafs really happy with that 4-1 score. How do you make out with St. Louis on,
No, it
or
was
sorry,
yeah,
Winnipeg?
Winnipeg. Yeah, it was a
I
back to
got you,
back, and there's another back to back for us coming up this
Winnipeg.
weekend. But it was a back to back with Winnipeg, and this one was a much tighter game. I found it was a much tighter game. Montreal actually played really good. I thought they moved the puck around a lot. I think for certain points they're actually making Winnipeg skating around circles with amazing puck control in the offensive zone. But you're like Safkowski. That kid's like he had the sophomore blues. I think was last year,
Oh,
but
he looks good. I
he
mean,
looks really good this year. He's making some great passes, and I think it's a good fit for him on that second line. They stick him on the second line with Balduke and is it Kapanen? Kapanen? Yeah, I think it's Kapanen. Anyways,
I think it is.
he's looking really good on that second line. I think no, he's with Demidov. Sorry, Demidov and Kapanen and Safkowski. And it's I think it's a great line. Balduke went to the first line. That's what I'm thinking about. And
Try to get him going again, like he
yeah.
was at the start of the year.
Yeah, and I think they're doing really good. So I think yeah, Safkowski might be getting more comfortable in the NHL. Remember, he's only what I think he's only what 20,
Well, he'd probably be 20 now.
20 or 21. He's still
Or
very young,
20.
anyways.
He's 20. Came up when he started at 18, so he'd
Yeah,
be like 20.
yeah, and he's a
He's
big
got
boy. Like
a lot of potential there.
yeah, I think the minute he realizes his size and that he could start tossing people around is really good. I think the story of the game though was how much Lane Hudson was just getting under Kachuk's skin, and Kachuk actually went out and brought him aside, gave him a few words, and it's just I could just imagine the conversation. What I'm 5'8", 180 pounds, and you're what 6'2" and 220, and I'm tossing you around
In
like,
the Ottawa game you're talking about.
yeah, the Ottawa game.
Oh,
Sorry,
you're
yeah,
back.
that's right. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. I'm getting the two confused. Yeah, that's right.
I wanna know what's going on in the game you won.
Yeah, that's right. I'm mixing the two for some
I
reason.
I I
Plain
thought, well,
Hudson came into my head.
Keith Fishhawk played for Winnipeg. I was thinking,
Yeah.
did the old man come out of
No,
retirement?
no, that's right. No, no, I'm getting them confused. But no, okay, yeah, for the Winnipeg game, no, it was great. But to go back to that Ottawa game, and that, because it just came back to me right now. And yeah, no, it was funny to see Hudson really getting under his skin. But no, the Jets game, I mean, it went into a shootout, and I'm always nervous during shootouts because I think our goalies are not the greatest in shootouts, but we do have some pretty good players. And I was surprised to see that they used was it Tessier as one of the shootout players instead of going straight for Demidov, Caulfield, and Demidov, Caulfield, and Suzuki and Slavkovsky.
Or I
So
figured the goalie didn't have notes on him perhaps,
yeah,
or
maybe. Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, it was, well, anyways, we got away with that one with 2 points, but we did give up one. But it's all right. Like, Winnipeg's coming off a losing streak. They won one against the Preds, but then they lost another one right after that, and now they're on a 2-game losing streak. But back to back wins for Toronto.
well, that's it. I thought you're trying to keep talking because you're gonna keep me from my airtime on, it's finally some happy times here. Are the Leafs back? It's quite possible. We're back to where we were last year. I've been pretty negative so far this year, but how can you be this week? They went into Carolina. Bobby McMahon gets a goal off the first shot, which is the fourth consecutive game the Leafs have scored on the first shot, which ties the last time 20 Tampa did this in 2021. And they have to go. You go the stats all the way back to 2010. It's the first time this happened other than the Tampa. So yeah, that's a good way to start. And then they got a lucky bounce and got it to 2-0, and then Carolina was on their heels. Again, another problem. This is what when you're at the lower end of the standings, you see the second string goalie, and although he was a familiar face for the Leafs, Freddie Anderson's only got 1 point in his last 5 games. He's now 1 point in only in his last six because of this game. Leafs win 5-1, and similar notes I've got there. Stetcher and McCabe, great unit, played 24 minutes. I forgot to mention, I think Stetcher had a goal and an assist in the previous game. I'm doing what Mark does, go back to the previous game at some point. But anyway, he played well, and you're getting some performances out of guys that have been really bad this year. Like Domi was +2 tonight, and Lawton scored this week, and Joshua has been putting in some good numbers, and the whole team seems to have a better jump. Like I was talking about that the week before, it just seemed like they were not that they're slow, but they're playing slow. They're tentative. They're panicky. They're moving around uh, in um, in an uneasy fashion. And these two games, Matthew Nyes was a wrecking crew out there, and proving why he is a really good power forward. The only problem in the game, Joseph Wall taken out at the end of the second period, which I think is a positive because he finished the period and they've described it as some sort of lower body thing. He probably tweaked it, and given he's a bit of a glass man, they didn't want to take a chance. They put the beast in Hildeby, and he ended up stopping I think 9 shots and not letting a goal in. So the thing about this is the thing about Hildeby. I mean,
Well,
he's going to be number one now, so
yeah, but
that's going to be a
well,
problem.
how about Bobby McMahon though? I mean, he's scoring twice that night, scoring once on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, no,
He's on fire. Like,
he's on fire, so that's coming up. But so he's doing well, Matthew scored a goal. That's good. I mean, it's funny that you have to mention that Matthew scored a goal, but that's the way
yeah,
he's been banged up this year. You can tell, and missed some action, and not scoring the way, and he's not scoring the type of goals where you're just coming over the faceoff circle and blowing through the goalie. But back to Hildeby, I mean, this is a problem now with Joseph Wall. I don't look to Wall to play the next game. We're going to talk about preview in a few seconds here, but Hildeby
there's no
is
news
not.
out on that yet, is there? On
Well, the
Wall's
Leafs are
injury.
the worst team in the league for giving out. We still don't know what's going on with Stollart's injury. Is a murder mystery.
Let's let's murder.
So we
Let's
don't know what's going on with him. We didn't know Joseph Wall was out from training camp on with some, albeit a family private thing. So I understand the mystery of that one. But with Hildeby in, Berube been here before. St. Louis was in the last place going into New Year's Eve, and they brought Binnington up during the Christmas holidays, and he went on a tear. And Berube and Bennington, and the St. Louis Blues went on to win the Stanley Cup. So, could Hildeby be our Bennington? I'm really showing now. I've been negative on the Leafs now today. I'm really showing my homer status, but I don't know about that. We've already got enough, quite a bit of information about Hildeby. He's played really well this year, though, as a backup goalie, and I'm thinking that maybe we can we can do something there. So, anyway, let's give a quick preview. We've got our two
Yeah,
teams playing this
yeah.
Saturday.
I was trying to look for anything about an update on Joseph Wall, but it doesn't seem.
No,
They're saying lower body. I think
I
is what
checked
they're
the
saying.
latest just before we went to air,
Yeah,
and no, there's just listed as lower body. I'm looking for Hildeby to play again. Even if Wall's healthy, they'd probably go that way. And
yeah.
so the Leafs are hot. Montreal's kind of struggling. What do
Yeah,
you expect to see Saturday night?
I think Montreal's kind of leveled out. I don't know if they're hot or not. I don't think they're not hot. I mean, I think they've won 4 of the last 6. So I mean, it's still there's still a pretty good record going on. But I'm looking forward to a good game. Like I'm looking for a good game on Saturday. I think it's going to be competitive. I think personally, I mean, of course, I want Montreal to
Yeah.
win. But I think advantage Toronto right now because they're on that little streak. So they're riding a high, right? So and they're playing at home too, which is going to be a big help for them.
Well, they've just had 6 on the road, and they're coming back home. They're going to play 5 at home now.
Yeah,
They've got Tampa, San Jose, Chicago.
yeah.
Um, they've got some tough ones coming up, but I think that this is a really important game for the Leafs to keep the streak going and
Yeah, I
at
think
home.
the
And
Leafs are now what 28 points, 29,
29 points
29
still,
points.
even after the three wins in a
Right.
row. They're in 14th
So
place still.
so
But
Toronto wins, then it would bring Montreal up and Toronto tied for points.
another interesting thing about the
Yeah.
Leafs right now, of the 16 teams that are out of the playoffs, they're the only one with more goals for than against. They've got a +3 now, so that's interesting. I think the Leafs. I don't know. They put themselves in a hole, but I think that they could. They're going to make a move on eighth spot, and
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
And certainly Saturday, if they can win against Montreal, that's a good way to start that rebirth of their season.
Yeah, and it's also a good way to carry on their streak and keep them on their high because I think they got a pretty good schedule coming up next week. So, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that game. I think
So
we might have. Oh, you're leaving for the weekend somewhere, but I don't know. We're going to go somewhere and have
I'll
some
be
drinks.
watching the game though. I'll tell you what. Let's make a bet. If Montreal wins, I'll wear a Montreal sweater, and if Toronto wins, you'll wear a Toronto sweater
Oh my God.
for our next
Yeah, I might, yeah,
video.
yeah. Okay, I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. It'd probably be the only time in history you'll see me with a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey on if I do wear one, but I don't think I will be. I think Montreal is gonna come out a victor on this one, and it'd be nice to see you with a Habs jersey on. We'll get you that one there, right there, back there on.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, all right. Or if you want to, go to the Guy Lafleur jersey, and we'll let you pick. So anyway, stay tuned for more videos because we are going to come back and post a video about Saturday's game. We're probably going to do that on Monday. So look for that video there. Like and subscribe. It helps us a lot when you click like and you click subscribe. We're just a starting channel. We're just starting a YouTube channel, so we need all the help we can get to get going. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.